Hey guys, this is your girl Jean. I'm coming on here because I wanted to talk about the remake that they did of the classic movie Still Magnolias. Now they remade the movie with the all black cast, and they remade it. It came on Sunday evening, and it was with Jill Scott, Queen Latifah, Felicia Rashad, Alfre Woodard, and a couple of other black actors and actresses, like that. Like I said, it was a remake of the classic film that came out in 1989. Um, I have to say right from the door, um, I love Felicia Rashad, Jill Scott, and Queen Latifah. All those girls, I love them. I love them. But this was one thing this is one movie when I heard that they were going to remake it. I was kind of leery. And what I also noticed is that a lot of when they was asking people on Facebook and all the social media networks, what did they what the public wanted to know how they felt about doing a remake of that classic movie. The general consensus was everybody was kind of concerned that it was just such a big hit. It was such a legendary movie, such a great movie that when you see movies like that, you don't want them messing with it. You don't want them messing with a classic movie. It's not, you can't improve it. That movie's just epic. It's just epic. It's all around. Everybody I know that has seen that movie loves that movie. Now, granted, most guys will call it a chick flick, but what chick don't you know that seen that movie didn't cry or didn't love that movie? I even know some men that had seen that movie and loved that movie. Mentioning one being my father. Now he's passed on now, but my father loved Still Magnolias, and he didn't even think he was going to like it. When I remember when I was a little kid. Now, mind you, that was I'm 40 now, and I had to be. It came out in 1989, so I had to be like 17 then. So this movie it came out a long time, over 20 something years ago. And I remember when I was watching that movie, when he seen me watching it, this was like my third time watching because they ran it on HBO back in the day. Ran it on cable. I remember my father complaining that I was watching it and he didn't want to watch it. I'm not watching it. I said, Dad, just sit down and watch. This is a good movie. Well, my father sat down and watched that movie. He loved it. And he especially fell in love with Shirley MacLaine's character, Weezer. I still remember him just laughing. He just cracked up at her. And to me, it was so many epic parts of that movie. That movie it had you laughing and crying, just captivated from beginning to end. That's one of my favorite movies. I have a few, but that's one of my. You asked me a lot of people's. I know like a lot of other people. That's one of their favorite movies, and it just shouldn't be messed with. And although they did a good job, Queen Latifah, I'm telling you, they did an okay job. They did a good job. They did a good job. If you they didn't jack it up, but it didn't live up to its hype. Some movies should just be left alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. You know what I mean? Because back in the day, it was a 2-hour movie, but it was on cable, so there were no commercials. However, this time, it was made for Lifetime, so it was all kinds of commercials. So they cut scenes out, and they really tried to stick this Still Magnolias remake really tried to stick with the script more so of the last script the dialogue that they had on the original. You know what I'm saying? But they tried to make it a little hipper. Say added, because that was way back, and that was over 20 something years ago. Say added a little up to date stuff in there, like that. But what they did do was cut out a lot of the scenes that make up that movie. See, the problem with them cutting out the scenes is that from beginning to end, from every second of Still Magnolias, the original is good. Every second. You can't afford to take out anything because it was so good from beginning to end. It's so many. If you even hear on, I know y'all, the people that have watched it, you see people that have their favorite moments. Everybody has everybody remembers the part at Sally Fields when she's after the funeral when Julia Roberts' character passes on, and she's screaming, why, Everybody remembers that. That's got to be the number one standout scene that everybody remembers. But then you'll find out people remember all other kinds of scenes like that. That's my favorite scene with Sally Field. But then I also like the sparring that Tom Skerritt and Shirley MacLaine used to do in the movie. How they used to fuss at each other all the time. And remember, he used to mess with her dog all the time. They didn't have that in this movie. They only had a little, you know what I mean? She just had a little. They show Alfred Woodard, who played Shirley MacLaine's character. Alfred Woodard played Shirley MacLaine's character. Jill Scott played Dolly Parton's character. Like I said, Queen Latifah played Malin's character. And, like I said, and then Felicia Rashad's daughter in real life played Julia Roberts' character. Played the daughter of Malin. And I'm just, it just, oh, and I think it was Daryl Hannah that, was in it too. Played that was in the original. I'm like that. So I can't remember the actress that played Daryl Hannah's part. You know what I mean? But everybody did a good job, but they just couldn't live up to the original. But I'm telling you, they didn't get into the relationship that relationship that Julia Roberts' character had with her brothers. They had the brothers in this movie, but they didn't, because they kind of didn't really show that relationship that well. They didn't do the relationship between the relationship that Daryl Hannah had with her boyfriend. She was all the holy roll of Jesus Christ, and she met her boyfriend through. It just was so. It was so much that was missing. It was so much missing from the movie. You know what I mean? That it just was kind of a letdown. I was sitting there waiting, hoping that they played this part. And then when they did do the scenes, like, because it was made for TV, I felt like each scene was like rushed. So I don't know. Even though it's not like they were talking fast, but it's just like I couldn't get into it. I was just like, I remembering some parts of the old movie and hoping that they got into that in this part of the movie, since they were almost they was doing it like the same dialogue. So if they were doing the same dialogue, you're looking for certain scenes, and some of the scenes when they did do it, just, oh my goodness, I just couldn't. And another epic part of the movie is that part of the movie that you always enjoyed was seeing Olympia Dukakis characters, when you see Olympia Dukakis and Shirley MacLaine going back and forth, them two old ladies going back and forth. Remember, Olympia Dukakis was always like Wazer and this and that. She was all sassy, and Shirley MacLaine was so grumpy. They did it. Felicia Rashad and Alfred Woodard did an okay job, but I don't think they didn't. It should have just been left alone, because they couldn't captivate that whole essence of Weezer, and what I mean. I just think they should have left it alone. I was kind of disappointed, so it was a miss for me. And another thing I wanted to say before I go is that I just hope that I just want to say some classics should be left alone. Just I don't want them sing. I don't I love my black people. I love y'all. I know it's not that many roles out there for y'all, and in Hollywood land. But some things you just have to leave. Those classic legendary films, when you can't make it better than it already was because it can't get no better, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. I don't want nobody turn around trying to make terms of endearment. That's just you know what I mean? I don't know. Now, if I had to say one, well, it's been, I don't know. I'm not even going to say that, because it's been redone so many times. Yeah, I'm not even gonna mention it, because it's been redone so many times. But some movies you can be redone, but most movies can't. When they're classic like that, just leave them alone. Just leave them alone. That's all I came to say. So that's all. What did y'all think? Did you enjoy the movie? Did you feel like I felt like they should have just left the movie alone? All right then. I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye bye.